Good afternoon, all. Dr. Jared here, continuing our study of the book, The Paleocardiologist, which is on the second to last chapter. We're going through chapter 16 right now. As the majority of you know, The Paleocardiologist is a book by cardiologist Jack Wolfson, designed to give you natural alternatives or natural ways to both prevent and reverse heart disease. Going through this top 20 supplement recommendations. So to review a little bit from yesterday, when you think about supplements can be overwhelming. What we really want to look at is, as a baseline, the number one thing you want to consume on a regular basis is a multivitamin. So men's or women's multivitamins sourced from a food or a whole food source. Children's, if you're not getting 2 to 3 servings of fish per week, you want to likely consume an omega-3 supplement. And then lastly, for, let's call them the basics, vitamin D, additionally, if you don't know your blood levels or if you work inside, but we're going to go through that in greater detail today. To start today, actually, we're going to go through a nutrient that your body naturally makes. It's called CoQ10. CoQ10 is largely for energy. It's in the mitochondria of your cell, which is like the factory or the power source. It's a fat-soluble component. The biggest reason someone would want to take CoQ10 is if they're on a statin drug. And the reason is statins inhibit your liver's ability to make cholesterol, but they also inhibit your liver's ability to make CoQ10. So number one reason to source or to take it as a supplement is really only if you take a statin. There are some other reasons, but mainly if you're not taking a statin, there's a good chance you don't need to take CoQ10. But it helps with energy, and below normal levels have shown to have negative effects on the heart, or vice versa. Normal levels shown to have much heart preventative effects. Now, going into 4 of the vitamins that you might have heard of, vitamin K, E, C, and D. So starting with vitamin K helps with blood clotting. It's in green vegetables. It helps with calcium absorption. So a lot of people, when they get older, they take calcium, which actually both myself and Dr. Wolfson agree is not a good idea for most people. Cheap rock calcium has a lot of downsides. It can harden your arteries. It can make you stiff. It's just, you want to consume normal amounts of calcium. So say a general rule would be 2+ servings of green vegetables a day. You could get that in a greens drink like we talked about yesterday, or from a salad, or putting spinach in your smoothie. And then red meat is another good source of calcium. So, but you need to be able to absorb it. So to absorb calcium, you need healthy levels of vitamin K and healthy levels of vitamin D. So first of all, when I talk about all these, the first spot that you should get them is from a multivitamin. Then possibly you source above that. But for most people, just getting enough vitamin K in their multivitamin. Now, there's 2 forms. There's vitamin K1, which is absorbed through food, and then it's converted to vitamin K2, which is done in your digestive tract. So this is why it's so important to avoid things like antibiotics, non-organic foods that are full of antibiotics, non-organic dairy that's full of antibiotics, the fluoride that we've talked about in the past, because if you throw off your gut bacteria, you can actually, unfortunately, your body can't make or convert as much vitamin K. And this is how we look at the body as a whole system, looking for the cause or the root cause of the problem. So green vegetables is a key component. Greens drink. One thing that I think is interesting, if you want to just an easy example of why letting your body go and then being dependent on medication, Coumadin or warfarin, which is a blood thinner, you want to avoid foods with vitamin K in it. So you actually have to avoid vegetables, which are so life-giving if your body is deteriorated to the point of needing that medication to stay alive or to live. So, keep that in mind. Like we said yesterday, the best time to do this, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, but investing in yourself long before you have the diagnosis. Going on to vitamin E. So there's 4 vitamins that are fat soluble, meaning that you can build up a storehouse of them. So those are vitamins A, D, E, and K. So vitamin E there's 8 different types, and this also goes back to why you want to source it from whole foods, because synthesized vitamin E is likely only going to have one type in your multivitamin, and the 8 different types likely have different qualities or different benefits. Your body needs a well-rounded source. Sources of vitamin E are nuts, seeds, olives, green vegetables, and avocados. So again, eating a healthy paleo type lifestyle gives you healthy amounts of vitamin E. Additionally, you should get it in your multiple vitamin. It's a very good antioxidant. And one of the studies when we talk about heart, if you think back to the very beginning of this with your heart, is you can lower your C-reactive protein, which is a big inflammatory marker. And by the way, we wanted to benefit you. So if you're continuing to watch and you've been watching these every week, we'd like to pass on a supplement discount. If you come in and say you watch the video today, within the next week, you can get 10% off 1 or 2 supplements and 15% off 3 or more supplements. All you need to do is mention that you watched the video. Moving on to vitamin C here. Vitamin C and D in this current environment have an especially important benefit, because now PubMed, the government's research website, has documentation that both of those are beneficial when you talk about helping somebody's immune system in regards to the current virus situation. So vitamin C is being used by some in New York, even in the medical community, but vitamin C and D are big immune system benefiters. So vitamin C is good for just about anything, but really, one of the studies show that it helps with the lining of your arteries where you can get plaquing. Additionally, vitamin C is shown to be good for, it's used in a lot of holistic cancer stuff. It's used for immune system things, and you can actually do really high dose vitamin C. In fact, in our clinic, we're in the process of working to have a more integrative approach where in the near future, within a few months, if you wanted an IV of vitamin C, you'd be able to get that. So you could really do high dose vitamin C and high quality. The best way to actually get vitamin C supplement wise is through an IV, but it is much more expensive. We just today received 4 boxes of vitamin C because we've literally been sold out and it was back ordered because so many people are supplementing with vitamin C. I personally am doing 2,000 milligrams a day to help my body stay strong and healthy. Additionally, with vitamin D now, I'm taking 10,000 units a day. And if you remember from our virus recommendations in the early stages when this was first coming out, we recommended doing exactly that because it just flat out doesn't hurt. Now with vitamin D, low levels of vitamin D are associated with all sorts of things, everything from rickets to vitamin D under 60 can have increased levels of cancer rates. There's, or I guess saying you have enough vitamin D actually shows to have lower levels of cancer. There's things with MS, heart disease, you name it. Now, vitamin D is more like a hormone. In fact, you can synthesize it yourself if your body has enough cholesterol when you are outside in the sun. So vitamin D can be made by the sun. The reason why people need to supplement with it in most cases is because they're inside. They're not getting exposed to the sun on a regular basis. Most people that are watching this are in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin, and therefore are either aren't going outside a lot when it's snowing or when it's cold through this winter. So people tend to get deficient. This is a complementary test from your medical doctor when you get your yearly blood work done. So you can have it done right in your wellness test. They recommend having at least the number 50. Ideally, my opinion is, from what I've read, 60 to 90 is the ideal range. And if you're low, you want to supplement with about 10,000 units. If you're in that range, most people want to supplement with about 5,000 units, maybe a little less, depending on what your number is. Another big thing when you talk about osteoporosis is vitamin D helps with calcium absorption, like we just talked about. So healthy levels of vitamin D help your body absorb the calcium when you consume it. Last thing to talk about today, digestive enzymes. So in our MTN, our mountain program, one of the things we're consistently seeing is that people struggle with digestive, whether you're talking about heartburn, bloating, acid reflux, whatever term you want to name it. Digestive enzymes can be beneficial for many people because it helps break down your food more in your stomach, which therefore helps it to assimilate or absorb in your intestinal tract because it's broken down better. The reason people get bloating in most cases when they eat healthier food is because the food, their stomach isn't as equipped to break down the food, and so it goes less digested into your intestines. And when the bacteria break it down to try and absorb it, it releases a gas, which is actually what creates the discomfort or the bloating sensation. So there's a couple things you can do. An HCl activator, which we carry. There's also amylase, protease, and lipase. These are all digestive enzymes. I personally recommend our supplement Max GI for the majority of people that have acid reflux or bloating type symptoms. In most cases, they can simply do that supplement for about 3 months, and many people need less, have less acid reflux symptoms, therefore they need less medication. And if you want to go ahead and just Google side effects of acid reflux meds, you'll find that they're massive. They're linked to increased levels of cancer pretty significantly. The last time I read a ranking on it, antacids, that especially the prescription type, where it had the 4th highest level of side effects or risk factors. And also keep in mind, if you're not breaking down your food, you might not be absorbing the vitamins and minerals that you're getting out of the food. So for those that say, I really just want to get all this out of my food, if you're not digesting well, you're missing, even if you're eating really healthy. So digestive enzymes can be a great thing. So just as a reminder, is an added benefit today, if you mention that you saw this video today, in the next week, so all the way through the end of April 2020, you can receive an additional supplement discount. Also, as I mentioned, we're working on a integrative clinic. So if you're watching this and want to know a little more, ask your doctor next time you're in, or shoot me an email or private message. Hope you have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow.